Before our species even took its present shape, people were already fighting viruses. Through the use of vaccines and antiviral medications, we have been able to control the spread of certain viruses and aid in the recovery of those who have been infected. We were successful in wiping out smallpox, which had previously plagued humanity, and no new cases have been reported since. Watch as we count down the top 10 most lethal viruses and diseases on Earth. Please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel before we begin. Number 10. Marburg Virus. The Marburg virus is one of the most alarming threats today. It's named for a picturesque riverside village, although that has nothing to do with the illness itself. Hemorrhagic fever is caused by the Marburg virus. Convulsions and bleeding of mucous membranes, skin, and organs are symptoms of the Marburg virus, just as they are with Ebola. The mortality rate is 90% due to this. As a viral hemorrhagic fever, Marburg virus disease, MARV, can affect both humans and non-human primates. Researchers have concluded that this pathogen poses a significant threat. According to the World Health Organization, it is a pathogen of very high risk, requiring biosafety level for equivalent containment. In the United States, it is considered a Category A priority pathogen by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and a Category A bioterrorism agent by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Number 9. Ebola Virus. Zaire, Sudan, Thai Forest, Bundibugyo, and Reston are the names given to 5 distinct strains of the Ebola virus. The Ebola virus in Zaire has the highest fatality rate, at 90%. This virus is responsible for the recent outbreaks in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. Researchers believe flying foxes spread the Ebola virus from Zaire to human settlements. The virus can be transferred when a person comes into touch with infected blood or other body fluids. Fluids from an infected person can contaminate surfaces for some time after they are used. Aerial transmission between primates, including humans, has not been observed in either controlled experiments or in the wild. Even after a person has recovered from EVD, the virus may remain dormant in his or her sperm or breast milk for weeks or months. Among the animals, fruit bats are thought to be the most common vectors for the propagation of this virus because of their ability to do so while showing no symptoms themselves. Some other infections, like malaria, cholera, typhoid fever, meningitis, and other viral hemorrhagic fevers, may look like EVD. The diagnosis is confirmed by testing a blood sample for viral RNA, viral antibodies, or the virus itself. Number 8. Hantavirus. Multiple viral families can be included under the Hantavirus umbrella. Hantavirus was first suspected to have infected American soldiers during the Korean War in 1950, hence the river's eponymous name. Kidney failure, fever, and respiratory illness are all possible outcomes. Orthohantaviruses belong to the family Hantaviridae, order Bunyavirals, and are single-stranded, enveloped, negative-sense RNA viruses. These viruses are classified either as orthohantaviruses or hantaviruses. They spread infection in rodents but rarely result in illness. Contact with rodent urine, saliva, or feces can transmit hantaviruses to humans. While some hantavirus strains have been linked to serious illnesses in humans, such as hantavirus cardiopulmonary syndrome, HCPS, and hantavirus hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, HFRS, others have not. The World Health Organization defines HCPS as an uncommon respiratory disorder linked with the inhalation of aerosolized rodent excreta, urine and feces, infected by hantavirus particles. Number 7. Bird flu. The fatality rate of 70% from the various types of bird flu often causes alarm, which may be warranted. However, the likelihood of getting the H5N1 strain, one of the most well-known, is fairly small. Direct contact with chickens is the only known route of transmission. Since many Asians keep their chickens in the same buildings as their human neighbors, this may be the explanation for why the majority of reported cases originate in Asia. In terms of how dangerous they are to humans, avian flu strains can be either high pathogenicity, HP, or low pathogenicity, LP. The H5N1 strain of HPI is the most well-known, and it has both high and low pathogenic strains. The H5N1 strain was first isolated from a farmed goose in Guangdong Province, China, in 1996. No captive companion bird has tested positive for avian influenza since 2003, suggesting a low risk of infection. Pigeons are susceptible to avian flu, although they rarely become ill and cannot effectively spread the virus to humans or other animals. There were 916 human cases of H7N9 reported to the World Health Organization between 2013 and 2017, with lab confirmation. Number 6. Lassa Virus. The first human to contract the Lassa virus was a nurse in Nigeria. Mice and rats act as vectors for the virus's spread. It's possible for cases to be endemic, which means the virus is present in a certain area but is always capable of reappearing there, like in the case of Ebola in Western Africa. The prevalence of the virus in rats in Western Africa is estimated by scientists to be 15%. Due to its status as a newly discovered virus and a select agent, Lassa Virus necessitates confinement at a facility with at least the same protections as biosafety level 4. Around 300,000 to 500,000 new cases and 5,000 fatalities occur annually in West African countries, mainly in Sierra Leone, the Republic of Guinea, Nigeria, and Liberia. Recent discoveries in the Mano River region of West Africa indicate a wider distribution of LASV throughout the tropical woody savanna ecozone in that part of the world than was previously thought. A Lassa fever vaccine has not been developed for human use. Number 5. Hunine Virus. Argentina hemorrhagic fever is caused by the Hunine Virus. Inflammation of infected tissues, sepsis, and skin bleeding are common symptoms of this virus. The issue is that the signs and symptoms might look so typical that the condition is often not recognized at first. In most cases, Argentine hemorrhagic fever is caused by Argentine Virus, a virus belonging to the genus Virus, AHF. With a mortality rate between 20% and 30%, AHF causes major damage to the cardiovascular, nervous, and immunological systems. Conjunctivitis, purpura, petechiae, and even sepsis can all be signs of this condition. It's easy to misdiagnose this illness in its early stages, when its symptoms are similar to those of the common cold. Number 4. Rabies. Although rabies has become essentially extinct in Western countries since the introduction of pet rabies vaccines in the 1920s, it is still a major health issue in India and other parts of Africa. This virus is transmitted through animal bites and scratches. The brain and nervous system are especially vulnerable to this. The National Health Service reports that death almost often occurs after the first signs of illness appear, NHS. According to Mulberger, it kills the brain. It's really very horrible sickness. She reassured us that if someone gets bitten by a rabid animal, we can treat this person by explaining that we have a vaccine against rabies and we have antibodies that work against rabies. If you don't receive treatment, though, she warned, you will die. Number 3. HIV. Some scientists believe that HIV is the most lethal virus in the modern world. Dr. Umesh Adalja, an infectious disease specialist and spokeswoman for the Infectious Disease Society of America, said, "It is still the one that is the top killer." Since the virus was identified in the early 1980s, it is believed that 32 million lives have been lost to AIDS. Adalja claimed that HIV was the infectious disease that was killing the most people. Now, thanks to highly effective antiviral medication, patients with HIV can have long, healthy lives, opens a new tab. Nonetheless, many low and middle-income countries continue to be devastated by the disease. This is because 95% of all new HIV infections occur in these regions. Over 2/3 of the world's HIV population resides in the WHO's African region, opens a new tab, where nearly 1 out of every 25 adults is HIV positive. Approximately 680,000 people died from AIDS-related causes in 2020. Number 2. KFD Virus. In 1955, researchers found the Kyasanar forest virus, KFD, in forests near India's southwestern coast. Ticks are the vector, but identifying infected individuals has proven challenging, according to experts. Various mammals, including rats, pigeons, and boars, have been hypothesized as potential hosts. High temperature, severe headaches, and muscle discomfort that can lead to bleeding are all symptoms experienced by those infected with the virus. Number 1. Dengue Fever. Constant danger from dengue fever. Research dengue fever if a tropical vacation is in your future. Dengue is a mosquito-borne disease that causes fever, rash, and joint pain in 50 to 100 million people annually in Thailand and India, two of the world's most popular tourist destinations. However, the more than 2 billion people who live in dengue fever hotspots have an even greater challenge. I'm curious as to your thoughts on this video. Don't be shy, just drop a line in the comments section below. Before you leave, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you like the video and want to hear from us again.